Hey guys, what's up and welcome to Young Titan World. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. If it's not a wonderful day, I hope you have the strength to go through with it. Today we're going to be talking about a new TV series that I stumbled upon. Now mind you, I don't really go through categories, but I do have a major interest in fantasy series. Series that talk about stuff that's never real. Like vampires, goblins, stuff that doesn't really make sense in the real life. That's the stuff that I prize when I'm looking for a TV series to watch. So usually my process is that I Google the word fantasy TV series or TV series fantasy, and whatever shows up there, at least ones that have been made within recent years, is the one that I target. So then we have ourselves, multiple. Especially ones that no one has really heard about. But they tend to blow up eventually because people start realizing that their attention span is really low and they need to up it, so they decide to force themselves to watch a TV series to correct the issue. More often than not, that doesn't really work, but their mind's in the right place, so that's cool. Anyways, so Slip is a really interesting TV series. It involves one particular woman who's the protagonist, and she's in this boring stage of her life. When you're not exactly happy about your condition, you're not sad about it, you're just going through it. It's like you're a puppet, and then your strings are being pulled, and you're doing whatever they tell you to. You have a 9-to-5 job, it's boring, and it's the same routine every single day. Well, that's what she's going through, She's just not having any excitement, and everything is boring. Her husband will not do her, and it seems quite bleak for her, at least in the beginning of the TV series. I honestly did not or wasn't going to continue watching if I didn't have a 1-episode rule. The 1-episode rule, if you are still not conversant or you're new here, my 1-episode rule is seeing that I finish the entire first episode of the first season of any TV series that I watch. And that is the decider that makes me know whether I'm going to keep watching it or if I'm just going to stop it. So the first episode to me is like the most important episode. If they can't make a bomb or like a really sick ass first episode, I don't think they put any effort into the rest of it. I mean, yes, some of them can start strong and end badly, but at least I know that when you were first introducing it to me, you gave me hope, and I can believe that if you decide to put in the work, you can bring in better episodes because you have the commitment. You just need to have the same enthusiasm you did when you were starting the damn franchise. So Slip starts off a little bit boring. Yeah, the first 15 minutes or so, that's a little boring. I mean, you would want to just die from that. But as it goes on, we realize that she has an affair. She fucks a dude who comes to the bar, and before we know it, she has a different life. And we're not talking like she changes her perspective about sex and decides to fuck everyone in town, but I mean, yeah, that eventually happens. But her life becomes very different. Like when I say different, it's altered. She gets married to the guy that she fucks at the bar in the evening. She doesn't really realize it in the beginning because she starts noticing things. When she gets up from the bed, she realizes her slippers, her shoes are all there at his apartment, as well as her cup that she usually uses for coffee. So we're talking about an absolute change of environment and life, because according to the guy that is currently her quote-unquote husband, they've been married for a long time. You know, they've spent time together. Apparently, they're celebrities now. And they've been meeting up with really famous ass actors and shit like that. So it's really, really cool. I mean, I would say that if I found myself in a situation where I was married to a celebrity and my entire life is filled with champagne popping and Met Galas, how could I say no to that? I mean, that's eventually what's going to happen to me. But what I'm trying to say is that I would be more welcoming to what happened than what she did. Because when that happened, she freaked out and she was like, oh no, I want to get back home. I want to get back to my boring life that I didn't like. It's like, I don't understand her concept of living. Maybe she didn't know what she had. But it's hard to say. You know, when we ask for something more, it usually means we want something more. So, is it common that after you've gotten something more, you want to go back to the nothing that you had? Well, maybe. I mean, I guess some people don't really know what they want. Maybe they've had it the whole time, but they needed to lose it to find out that they needed it. However, the situation with her changes and escalates or de-escalates. I don't know how you want to put it. Because after we have the freaking rich people, oh shit, I have to cross the road. After we have the freaking rich people, the rich guy that she's dating and has a relationship with, we come about with the poor guys. And what do I mean by that? She fucks another person and she ends up having a life with them, which makes no sense. Because, I mean, one would think that after she nails a baddie, or she nails someone who's super rich, like there would be no need for her to want to go to anyone else. But apparently that life was too much for her. So she goes into a dining, or she goes to a club. The club is owned by a woman. And it's definitely, you know, lesbian. So she goes over there. She talks about how things are not making sense for her. And she's in a new world. She doesn't know what to do. I mean, her best friend is there, but she's little to no use. Because every time that she tries to tell her something, the best friend overshadows her with nonsense. I'm not saying it's nonsense. I mean, technically, it is nonsense. Because I don't understand how someone who needs to talk to you gets to be silenced every 5 seconds because you have a medium to nothing crisis. You know, it's like you don't... it was kind of rude the way the black... oh, shit. I'm racist now. Nigga, you're black. Okay, fine. The lady who's her best friend is a black girl, right? And if I know anything about black girls, they... oh, God, I can't continue with it. Okay, listen to me, all right? She has a mouth on her. She talks. Gabba, 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 all right? And she didn't even give the protagonist the chance to explain her situation when she was moving through different dimensions. Now, I don't know if you're fulfilling your place as best friend if you don't even want to listen to your own best friend and you're just spewing out whatever happened in your day. Now, yes, granted, it's the sort of thing that happens with best friends. There's the talkative and there's the non-talkative. And usually the talkative outshadows, or at least there's something of that sort. Anyway, we're not talking about best friend dynamics. We're talking about slip. And the fact that as she fucked the bartender, she ended up having a life with her. Now, we are able to identify that somewhere along the line, or at least we've established that she doesn't want kids. But with the bartender, she has a kid. And they're taking care of the kid, and the kid likes her, the protagonist, rather than the bartender, or at least more than the bartender. So it becomes a little bit crazy. The kid is also a little bit crazy, and she actually likes it, at least a little bit. So, just to put a neat little bow on this whole thing, it's clear that she is not happy with any of the lives that she has, because it reaches a point where she does not exactly feel a connection with the person that she fucks, but she fucks the person entirely just so that she could have the life with them. And we see that when she fucks the stockbroker or the businessman, because at that point it's like she's not running on emotions anymore. She's just fully mechanical. When it's fully mechanical, nothing is attached. She fucks him, she ends up marrying him. The best friend still has no idea of what's going on. You know, she's like oblivious to the fact that her bestie is moving through dimensions, and all she does is try to avoid her too, which doesn't make any sense. But there was one comforting thing and apparently that was because the best friend was always there when she moved into a different dimension. Her best friend didn't change. I think that's sweet. I think that spells up a nice little dream for everyone who's in a friendship. It curves it to be a special thing. It wasn't her parents that she was focused on, nor her siblings, but her best friend. And I guess some people in this world consider their best friends more than they do consider their own families, which says a lot, really. Anyways, to be honest, wow, I really say that a lot, don't I? It's just that with this particular TV series, there is a lot of titties showing around. You know, the Itty Bitty Titty Committee has a lot to say concerning this particular TV series. And I'm not sure it's all in the best regards, but yes, there is a lot of titties in this show. And you're probably wondering, well, does that really matter to the story plot? Well, there comes a time where nudity becomes unnecessary, or nudity is not much needed, but they put it in there anyways. It's like you're telling a beautiful story. Why would you go out of your way to show us some tatas? I mean, I don't mind looking at tatas, but I'd rather be in close proximity to them, if you catch my drift. That was weirdly perverted. Now we shall revert back to the part where we say things without sounding like Jeffrey Dahmer. You don't sound like Jeffrey Dahmer. You've never even watched the TV series. It's a documentary. And it's a non-fiction about a guy who's killing people. How the hell do you want me to watch something like that? You haven't even watched Joker yet. Well, that's a different issue. Joker is off limits. Why? Because you think you're gonna turn into a psychopath? Thing is, I'm already a psychopath. I'm trying to maneuver through the chaos that I'm already in, and you want me to plunge myself into deeper darkness, which I don't think is really sensible. Okay, maybe the background noise is probably more than everything else. So, maybe we have a lot to catch up on. But yes, Slip is quite unusual. You know, given the fact that her pussy leads her to different dimensions, and when she orgasms, it takes her to a different dimension, as I said before. Which sounds incredibly, I mean, it gives me a lot of things to think about, you know, like, what if she has a foursome or a threesome? I mean, obviously one of them would make her come, right? But then what if it's a dildo? What if it's a machine? What if it's a vibrator. That makes absolute sense.